could you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
All right. Got to get some wings, some chicken wings. You want to get a pizza? Or let me think.
Oh,
You want a picture of soda?
G'day and welcome to the Big Down Under podcast. This is a good one. This is with our best competitive eater. His name is Jay Webby or James Webb. This is an incredible story. This is the reason I do the podcast is for stories like this of maybe an Aussie that you don't know, maybe even an Aussie that a lot of Australians don't know, but he's just got the most incredible tale. So one day this guy walked into a bar and there was Australia's biggest burger sitting there. No one had ever finished it. He was like, I'll do it for some laughs. He finished it, and then years later, he's now our best competitive eater. He's coming over to the States to take home America's July 4th hot dog eating competition trophy from none other than Joey Chestnut. So this is a really funny, really interesting chat. He tells me so much about that sport, or I shouldn't do this, that sport that I didn't know before. I really think you'll enjoy it. He's coming right up now. His name is James Webb. We're rooting for you on July 4th, James. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Jay Webby. Let's cut to the chase, though. What's your toilet like after an event? I think that's probably the number one thing on people's minds when you talk about competitive eating.
Like a volcanic eruption, I think is the best way to describe it.
Wow. Because, what goes in comes out, right?
Yeah, to be honest, it gets to a point where your body's like, what are you doing? And it just it's an explosion.
So what records, just to introduce yourself, tell me, what records have you broken in competitive eating?
Yeah, so look, I have a bunch of American records, a bunch of world records, and a bunch of Australian records.
Okay.
I guess, obviously being an Aussie, our sausage sizzle contest is our biggest event. So I did 18 sausage sizzles in 3 minutes.
Okay.
I've done 102 pieces of sushi in 2 minutes 24.
Okay, nigiri, just these
So there's a mixture of like the nigiri rolls, the inside out rolls. There's a wasabi ball in there. It's a lot.
Nice.
So 102 pieces of that. I've done 20 Dagwood dogs in 3 minutes 30. That was pretty crazy.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, that was like Dagwood dogs aren't really my thing, but hey, it's a contest. You can't choose what you eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I did recently this year, I did 53 hot cross buns in 10 minutes.
I love a hot cross bun in 10 minutes. Were they buttered and toasted or what?
They were cold and dunked in water.
Oh, nice. So those are all like your accomplishments so far?
Yeah, and then in America, I hold some crazy records. I've actually beaten Joey Chestnut in a couple of chicken wing contests.
You have?
So they're kind of my claim to fame. Yeah, I got 278 buffalo wings in 12 minutes and 224 grilled chicken wings in 8 minutes. And I beat Joey in both those contests. So pretty crazy.
How did you manage to do that? He's obviously like the GOAT, right?
He's the GOAT, man.
So how do you manage it? Do you think that you caught him on like a day that he was, athletes sometimes have good games and bad games. Do you think you caught him on a bad game or
truth is I've beaten him 3 times in a row in chicken wing contests. And look, he's the GOAT. Obviously we all look up to him and we all massively respect him. He actually came up to me and said, like on the sly, we all know he's the hot dog guy. He's so dominant in hot dogs. He's like, you're on that level when it comes to chicken wings. He goes, you're the GOAT of chicken wings. He actually said that to me. And I'm like, man, I was like shaking. I'm like, thanks, Joey. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I wanted to hug him. I didn't know what to do. But truthfully, Joey said to me like one-on-one that like the level of chicken wings, that's my game, man. So you know what? The first time, beginner's luck. Second time, I got very lucky. I know I did. And then I think third time, I guess I cemented my spot as the wing king.
That is incredible. To beat the GOAT at his own game. Do you think that he's got sort of like chicken wings are his weakness? And why is it different? You must pull apart the wing faster than he does. Or so. Why is that a weak spot for Joey then?
So I think, look, I think competitive eating as a whole, technique is a big thing, right? Joey's a big fella, 6'3", hands like shovels. Like he's a big lad, So when it comes to chicken wings, you got to the technique to like dig the meat off the bone before you get it to your mouth. I think because I got like little fat thumbs versus his shovel hands, I can handle the chicken wing faster, I think. Truthfully though, Joey could eat more than me. So if it was let's say it's a 20-minute contest, he would kill us.
Right.
But, between 8 and 12 minutes, and speed is a big factor. It's close and it's a level playing field. And yeah, I've got the flowers a couple of times over Joey in recent years.
Wow, I didn't realize that, man. Now I'm even more like enamored with you than I was previously. It's like, wow, this guy's the GOAT in waiting. It appears like, to me.
I'm trying.
You're trying. Could I take you back to the start of your food journey? Like, what got you, now, even before what got you into competitive eating, when did you realize that you could eat more and faster than everyone else?
Yeah, so look, I have to blame my wife, firstly. So, look, I don't drink alcohol, personal choice, but my wife really wanted to go to Hunter Valley. And to bribe me to go, it's a 3-hour drive from where we live. So to bribe me to go, she planned a day trip. We're going to stop at the fudge factory. We're going to get lunch at this pub. We'll go to the cheese factory. And then she can go do her bougie wine tasting thing, right?
Right.
So she wanted to make me fat and happy before I had to sit there and, do the bougie thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we got there, we got to this pub, and they actually had a burger challenge. And it was big. I didn't know at the time what that meant. But I'm like, I'll do it. I'll try. Like, whatever. Anyway, it turns out it was Australia's biggest hamburger. No one had ever finished it. In 10 years, 55 people have tried and failed. And then I came along, this guy from Western Sydney, and I smashed this burger in 25 minutes. And it kind of went crazy. Like Channel 9 News wrote a story on it, and it was pretty crazy. And then competitive eaters actually reached out to me on Instagram. Funny story, the competitive eater boys from Australia, we're brothers now. Like we've been to each other's weddings, like we're like brothers, right?
No way.
And a few of them reached out to me saying like, we need to meet you. You're really good at this. And I wrote back saying, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Anyway, so we got chatting and they invited me to a burger contest. I'm like, I love burgers. I'll come. Mad, free burgers. I won the contest. To this day, my record still stands. And they pretty much said, hey, listen, this is competitive eating. You need to go do these food challenges and see like how good you are.
Yeah.
Me being the fool that I am, every day after work for 2 weeks, I went and did a food challenge.
Amazing.
And 2 weeks later, I ate dinner for free every night of the week.
That is great. That's great.
Right? So it just started off as a complete joke, going after work, doing some food challenges here and there. And then contest started. I broke every Australian record in my first year of competing.
Wow.
And the first competitive eater ever in Australia to be ranked #1 on their debut season. So that was that. Incredible. Then I got invited to compete in America. And my wife's like, all right, well, we can turn this into a holiday. You're going to go do a pizza contest. Let's go to Disneyland. Let's go have some fun,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sweet. Like mad. Book some flights, organized hotels, whatever. I go to work. I said, listen, boss, I need 4 days annual leave. He's like, no.
Really?
What do you think this is? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I've got this great opportunity to go compete in America, the only Aussie ever to be invited to a major league eating contest.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. I'm like, oh. Walked out of the office, rang my wife. My wife's like, just quit. Don't worry about this guy. We're going to America. I'm like, really? She's like, well, what's the worst that can happen? You got to look for another job.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Anyway,
So
I'm in my office trying to get the kahunas to go and resign, right?
Right.
And my wife had already sent my resignation letter on my work email.
What is your wife?
Laptop.
Oh my God.
Hey, my wife, Kate, she's a G, man. She's the brains of the operation. She's the GOAT, man, honestly. But she had already sent the resignation letter.
Wow.
And I walk into the office of my boss. He's like, you're quitting? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how do you know? And he's like, yeah, I got your letter. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, pack your shit, get out. I'm like,
wow.
Peace.
But
anyways, went to America.
Yeah.
I came 2nd and 4th in my first 2 contests. Left America with a professional eating contract that changed my family's life forever.
A professional eating contract? Because I was going to say, like, How do you earn money as a professional eater?
So firstly, I'm the only Australian as a professional major league eater. I'm one of 55 major league eaters in the whole world.
Okay.
Obviously, there's contest winnings. So, like, for example, this weekend, we're competing for 5 grand US.
Mhm.
That's a decent 10 minutes work, if you ask me.
Especially when you
But
convert it to dollary dues. You know what I mean?
exactly right. I get to travel around, do some silly eating contests, win a
Yeah.
bunch of cash, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But obviously, social media, brand deals, endorsement deals, it's a big part of what I do. I'm very fortunate. I've got a bunch of followers and people want to follow the journey and get amongst it on social media.
Yeah.
And they follow Jay Webby Can Eat. And I'm super grateful for the guys that send me messages and like and follow and subscribe. But that's how I make my living. I make videos. I do eating contests. I make social media content. And man, I just get to do what I do with a smile on my face.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. It's crazy that, you walked into a bar one day and now, in a couple of weeks you're competing to beat Joey Chestnut potentially at Nathan's Hot Dogs. That's amazing. Could I just ask you, have you discovered what it is about yourself that makes you a good competitive eater? Is it something biological or mental?
So look, the first thing, I love food.
Yeah.
I love food. I love to eat. I've never been into partying. My fun would be on a Saturday, like, where we going to eat? Let me find a new restaurant. So firstly, I love food. But secondly, after coming to America, competitive eating is a sport. No matter which way you want to spin it, it's a sport. Like any other sport, you can train, right? I'm competitive as hell. I used to be a semi-pro soccer player. When I got into bodybuilding, I wanted to be, the most jacked guy in the room. Like, I'm competitive.
Yeah.
I love to challenge myself. So I think I'm a little bit wired differently. I'm like, okay, how do I eat more food to eat more food? How do I eat more food than the guy next to me? So on and so forth. So I think it's a little bit up here, combination of genetically built different in terms of, like, I'll push the limits in every way I can.
You got a bigger stomach? You got a bigger stomach or something?
So look, I've actually trained my stomach to be bigger and fit more food. And that's the crazy part about competitive eating, right? You can train, like, you go to the gym to lift weights to get bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah. I can train my stomach to stretch and expand and fit more food.
So what do? You go to buffets or something like that?
A Golden Corral, all the crazy Chinese buffets here in America, they're a blessing, right?
I bet. Do they let you sit there for hours, like, training in these Golden Corral and stuff?
So to be honest, right, I thought the same thing at the start. They're gonna get angry and tell me to leave and whatever. But the truth is, look, firstly, I have to say this with what I do. I'm very big on, I don't like food wastage. Like, I'm not there to be a dick. And, you see people take plates and they leave full plates of food. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I take one plate at a time. I finish my plate. I move on to the next, right? So I'm very big on not wasting food. And I think once the people see, oh, this guy's not here to, take the piss. He's there to eat. And I go about my business quietly. I don't make a ruckus. I think they think it's funny how many times they got to clear my table. I think. I've never been asked to leave. Actually, to be honest, more often than not, someone recognizes me and they're like, oh my God, like, you're the guy that eats. What are you doing here? I'm like, well, actually, preparing for a contest.
So how much have you eaten at the Golden Corral, one of these all-you-can-eat buffets?
Look, to be honest, I just it's more about feeling. You can feel I know this sounds strange, but you can feel when your stomach is stretching. So it's more like, like, I've eaten, look, if you really want to go plate for plate, I've probably eaten 20 plus plates before when you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's more about a Golden Corral. Okay, I can go from dessert, sweet to savory. I can get some salad, fill in the gaps. I can have pasta, pizza, fries, whatever I want.
You just feel really full? Is that the stretching feeling? You just feel like over full?
Oh,
I hate honestly, that feeling.
You get to this point where you're full and you can feel like your stomach is like, if this is your stomach, it's like being pulled apart.
That must be awful.
That's when yeah, man, this is it. This is what I need. In a weird kind of way.
Is there any sort of, like, danger to that in terms of your stomach, or, like, I know choking's a bit of a thing, or your teeth maybe. Is there any sort of health or dangers in terms of training and becoming a professional eater?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna preface this whole thing by saying I'm no health professional. Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of what we do is trial and error. There's no guidelines or rule book or kind of secret diary to competitive eating. We've kind of all just making it up as we go along. So yeah, look, I do understand there's inherent health risks with eating like a maniac.
Yeah.
But I do get checkups. Funny story, my GP back in Australia, his son is actually one of my biggest fans.
Oh,
When I mean
really?
fans, wears my merch, has my posters in his room,
No
watches all
way.
my videos. So he also dobs me in when I do crazy stuff.
You
He
have
shows
big
his dad
fans
who's
like
my
that?
GP.
You
Yeah,
have really
crazy.
big, you have big
I
like
do.
foodies,
I'm
like
blessed, man. I have people that walk around in my merchandise, buy my clothing, take photos with me, send me good luck messages before a
that's
contest,
great.
come out to see me at my appearances, get me to sign their head, their cast, their t-shirt. It's crazy.
That is.
I'm so blessed like that.
Have you ever like failed to finish like a meal you set out to start? Set out to finish?
Yeah, look, a couple of times. Look, to be honest, right, from where I've started to where I am now, it's escalated quite a bit. So obviously at the start, it's a food challenge. You know, those restaurants you can turn up to, hey, eat this burger in 10 minutes, you get a free meal. Ha ha.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, with my social media stuff, I do a lot of restaurant work, promotional work, appearances and stuff. And restaurants kind of use me as like a virtual menu board. So they just want to have their whole menu on a video and say, hey, James, eat as much as you want or as much as you can.
That's
And I just
awesome.
work my way from left to right across the screen. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. There's been times where restaurants have put out 20 pounds of their menu. And
Yeah.
like that's physically impossible for one man to tackle. So that's one side of it. But in terms of actual food challenges, I took on a 4-man pizza challenge once, actually in LA. It's a famous pizza shop and it's a 20-pound pizza. 4 people get 60 minutes to finish it. I failed because I ran out of time. I had one slice to go.
Oh.
I had one like square of pizza, but I just couldn't chew fast enough. So I actually failed that challenge and had to pay full price. But that was fun. 20-pound challenge, 4-person challenge. I got 99% of the way in 60 minutes.
That's
by
amazing,
myself.
man. That's amazing, man. So I want to say, like, you're over here in Dallas, right? You're in Dallas right now. You've come over to the States to take home the biggest prize in competitive eating. Obviously, the Nathan's July 4th, the one that, Kobayashi always used to win. Now Joey Chestnut always wins.
It's the Super Bowl.
It's a Super Bowl. You've come third 2 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
You've come third 3 years in a row. So, yeah. I mean, how do you go 1 or even 2 better?
Yeah, so I'm working on that. Work in progress. Look, to be honest, being into my 4th season now, with my 4th year, my 4th season, however you want to look at it, as competitive eating, I made waves being on the podium 3 years in a row. But obviously, me being competitive, I really, really respect my opposition. So I'm ranked number 4 in the world. The 3 above me, man, respect every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I'm analyzing them and gunning for them. So yeah, look, I've been practicing hard, and I'm practicing hot dogs. Actually, this evening, I've got another hot dog practice. So I've got to cook up 55, 60 hot dogs on the grill.
Wow.
And practice. My numbers have increased. So my first year I did 41. My second year I did 47. And last year I did 52 and a half. So I'm on the right kind of trajectory. But me being competitive, I want to be, I wanted to be in the 50 club. Now I want to be 55 plus. I want to get to 60. I'm just working on being a better eater myself. And I think it's honestly, if I can keep going, in this direction, 55 plus will put me in the mix. And, on game day, anything can happen. So I just want to be up there with the best.
Are you like, Joey Chestnut's probably going to be there. He hasn't confirmed he's going to be there or not, but, I don't think he'll want to lose this one. Are you sort of like looking for him to slip on the day, or do you need to just like blow away even your own expectations? Like, it's such like a sport of like numbers that I would have thought going in if you got a chance to win or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so look, I guess, the best way to answer that question, firstly, Joey's the GOAT, undisputed. When Joey's on stage, it elevates everybody. So if Joey's there, the contest just gets elevated another 10% minimum, because, man, that's Joey Chestnut. Like, we gotta pump it today to be on anywhere on his level, right?
Yeah.
So Joey lifts you no matter what. I guess the second part of that answer is, I want to be the best, okay? So to be the best, you've got to compete with the best, i.e. Joey Chestnut, but you've also got to get your butt whipped by the best a few times.
Yeah.
Losing to Joey is, to be fair, like it's a learning experience, right? So if I want to be the best one day, I need to compete against Joey as many times as I can. And inherently, I'm going to get my ass kicked by him a few times, but also like, I just want to see how I match up against him. And on the day, anything can happen. Once you're on that stage and you see the people in front of you and ESPN kind of cameras in your face and everyone's nervous and adrenaline's pumping and all you can smell is hot dogs for miles, right?
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So you just got to be your best your best you and see what happens at the end of it. But truthfully, I hope Joey's there. And that's not me being disrespectful. That's me. I want to compete against the GOAT. I just want to see, even if he kicks me by 20 hot dogs, I just want to see where I match up against him. You know what I mean?
Right, right. You know, competitive eating needs more trash talk, man. You're too like conciliatory. Like you're too like, what's your message to Joey Chestnut? You know, on July
Look,
4th.
July 4th or not, in general,
On July 4th,
Joey knows I'm coming for the number one spot, right? Now, to be number one, you've got to win the Nathan's hot dog contest. So Joey knows we're all chomping at his heels. And look, me and Joey get along really well. Joey knows we got some friendly rivalries. I respect him, but I'm coming for you, Joey. That's why I'm here. I'm all the way from Australia. I'm going to show these guys how Aussies can do it.
You're like his apprentice in waiting. You're his apprentice from down under.
And look, to be honest, I've watched so much Joey footage on YouTube, learning from him. He's been kind enough to reach out to me and send me messages and, help me along my ways. So yeah, like massive respect, but at the same time, man, like we're all competitive, just like Joey, ultra competitive. Like you could be choking and dying next to him and he doesn't care. He's there to win,
Right,
and
right.
I'm learning that from him. Like, yeah, you've got to be nice and respectful, but at the end of the day, man, we're here to win and let the best man or woman win. And that's how we go.
Are the Americans sort of like protective over their like July 4th award? You know what I mean? Like don't want a foreigner. Kobayashi had it for too many years. They've brought it back to America. Do they like not want a sort of an Aussie or a foreigner to win their award?
So truthfully, that's week in, week out at every contest. Americans are super patriotic, super proud to be American, super proud of their home ground advantage and their turf. And I respect that. To be fair, as the Aussie, I'm coming here to be a thorn in their backside. I want to be that, I want to disrupt. I want to stir the pot. And to be fair, the first time I ever beat Joey and I raised the belt above my head, everyone's chanting USA.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think I want to be that guy to disrupt, but I think the Americans secretly love it. There's a reason to hate. And it's all friendly. There's no derogatory comments, but it's that extra hype and hate and banter that elevates a contest. Like every sport, right? You've got to have that love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I know they don't want me to win. They don't want me to take their money and their prizes and their belts and their trophies. But at the same time, it gives them, Americans love a reason to just yell and scream and get amongst it, right?
Yeah.
So I think they secretly love it. Do they want me to win? Probably not. But will they entertain the idea? 100%.
The competitive eating scene in Australia must be so much less than it is here. Would you ever consider moving here more permanently?
Yeah. So look, obviously competitive eating is much smaller in Australia. I do what I can to elevate the sport as much as I can because this sport has changed my life. I love this sport and I get so many people involved and sponsors and events. But truthfully, man, if you want to be the best, you've got to be that little fish in a big pond, and that's America. And actually, my visa's just been approved late last year. So I'm now trying to navigate a wife and stepdaughter and move them halfway across the world to follow this dream of mine. We're working on that at the moment. And
wow.
Honestly, this time next year, I really hope to be living here in Dallas.
You're going to move your family across the other side of the world for competitive eating.
Call me crazy, but my wife backed me from day one. And this journey has been amazing. And I think it's an opportunity of a lifetime, an Aussie in America. You would know yourself, it's not that easy to get a visa to live and work in America, let alone eat my way into America. So I think I would be crazy not to pursue this opportunity.
This might help, get you over here. Could you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
Honestly, my American accent is terrible. But
I do this with every interview. Every interview, I'm like, we got to hear your best American accent. So let's hear yours, James.
God bless America.
That's good. That's good. What's your favorite? Let's hear your favorite stuff to eat in America.
In an American accent, or can I talk normally?
Accent.
All right. Got to get some wings, some chicken wings. You want to get a pizza? Or let me think.
Oh,
you want a picture of soda?
This might be the funniest one yet, bro. You want some chicken wangs? Chicken wangs. Sounds like you're talking about another part of the chicken wang. That was very funny. That was very funny. All right, now it's time for our big finish. I've got some, interesting / weird / questions that needn't be asked or answered. I got an idea. They should do a competitive eating event where everyone's on Ozempic. You know,
That would
everyone's
be
on.
so painful.
Yeah, weight loss drug eating competition. Do you think that might sell?
That's walking contradiction, and I'm sure it's open to a lawsuit in this country, but I'm down.
Right. Okay. Good. How come there are no like healthy food eating competitions? Like, there's not like who can eat the most broccoli.
To be honest, last year we had a blueberry contest. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts for sure. How many blueberries did you finish?
I did 15 pounds in 8 minutes.
Is that a lot? I don't know. Is that a lot? Sounds like a lot.
Man, that's got to be over 1,000 blueberries, surely.
Oh, it must have been a different color when it come out as well. Like, oh
No,
Lord.
no comment.
No comment. How expensive is it to be an athlete in your sport?
Yeah, look, hot dog practices cost me about $100 a practice.
$100 a practice.
But
Okay.
look, to be honest, I'm very lucky what I do. I don't often have to pay for food. And when I do go out, I can eat normally when I'm not training for a contest. But contest preparation can get expensive. But it's like everything. I know what I got myself into, and I do it with a smile on my face, and I do it willingly. But hey, look, if someone's out there wants to sponsor this Aussie in America, hook me up with some Walmart vouchers. Jay Webby Can Eat, I'm your guy.
Yeah, surely you could get just like you could get sponsors so easily, like just like a meat pie company in Australia or something like, surely, you know what I mean?
Hey, if anyone's watching,
Yeah.
Jay Webbie Can Eat, you know where to find me.
You need it. You need it. Do you have any pre-competition rituals?
Yeah, I'm a very superstition, routine kind of driven kind of dude.
Okay.
So look, I train every day. I train in the gym. I love the gym. So the gym is a big part of my routines. So I always wake up and allocate enough time to train. And then I have my playlist, my favorite songs I always listen to. And I need that 5 or 10 minutes before a contest just to kind of get my head in the game and listen to my favorite music. And,
What's your pump-up song?
Have the rhythm in my head.
What's your
My
pump-up song?
I have a few. Oh, look, to be honest, it kind of changes from obviously with what's happening. But actually, I listen to a lot of Tupac, a lot of Tupac music, a lot of profanity, a lot of, let's do this gangster rap kind of stuff.
Nice.
Tupac and Biggie is a lot of go-to music, but Hail Mary by Tupac is probably my all-time favorite pump-up song.
Gets you in
and
the
then before
mood.
I go on stage, I'm ready to headbutt a wall.
Oh my God, that is too funny. How do female competitive eaters compare to the men? Do they have smaller stomachs, or is there a difference in like the genders and how they do it?
Can I be honest with you? And this is I'm just going to say it, whatever. Women are genetically different. They're built to have babies. So their body distends and can expand in different ways.
Okay.
So actually some of the best eaters in the world are women.
Really?
And the way their stomach can distend is wild.
Huh.
Like some of them are 5'0", skinny little women, but their bellies can just go bang. Like they turn sideways and it's like, right? So women have a different skill. They're very quick. Obviously genetically smaller hands and stuff. They can get through the technique foods much quicker than us. But also like their body can distend in ways that a man can only imagine, truthfully. I guess because they're genetically built to have babies, their body can kind of stretch in different ways. So there's a lot of top competitive eaters. Like, for example, I'm ranked number 4. Miki Sudo, she's ranked number 5. So she's like chomping at my heels for my ranking.
Oh, they rank you together, all of you together. Nice.
Yeah. So only Nathan's the 4th of July hot dog contest where there's a man and lady contest. Every other contest is mixed.
Huh.
And there's a lot of top female competitive eaters. Truthfully, there's a lot of top Japanese female eaters. They can put away some food, man. It's crazy. And they're tiny, 5'0", small build, small in stature, but man, what their body can do is amazing. And truthfully, like I'm a little bit jealous in a way.
Yeah, for real, man. Not of like being pregnant. That sounds like it'd be a hard job, but like of being able to look like you are with food. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Any advice to kids out there who want to be a competitive eater?
100%. Look, firstly, don't take yourself too seriously. If you love food and you want to have fun, competitive eating is something fun to get into. It's also, we're a community, man. So like, if you want to even think about getting into competitive eating, reach out to one of us. Now we'll lead you in the right direction for a food challenge or whatever. But honestly, it's so much fun. So if you just want to try it, if you're thinking about trying it, my biggest advice is just try it. But also make sure you balance it out with exercise.
Yeah.
We're all into sport, all of us. There won't be a competitive eater that's not into some kind of activities or sport. So try and balance your crazy eating with your crazy sports.
Very good. And last thing, do you think you could finish our Australia's coat of arms in one sitting? Like a kangaroo and an emu, we can eat them. They're edible. Australians eat kangaroo. Do you think you could finish our coat of arms?
If they were cooked medium, I think I could do it.
Wow. There we go. There we go. You should do it. I think like this could be, if you come close or beat Joey on July 4th, this will be like your breakout, I've made it moment. It could be like coming up in the next few weeks. I can feel it.
This is what I dream of every single day. I obsess over this.
That's amazing, man. Hey, James, thank you so much for talking to me, man. This was one of my favorite chats, honestly. It's so interesting. It's such an interesting sport, and you are killing it for Australia, coming from nowhere, and now you're like in the big smoke, taking on the American athletes. So I appreciate your time. Good luck on July 4th, mate. We'll be rooting for you down under.
I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. And honestly, thank you for the support.
Hey, Christina.
Cotton, mate, how are ya?
I'm very good. Yourself?
I'm great, thanks. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Belated.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
What'd you do? What'd you get?
What did I get? Like headphones, I think.
Nice.
What did Peach get me? My daughter. I think she made me a picture or something. It was, you know.
Or something.
You know what I mean? They show a little effort and you appreciate it.
Okay. It's weird that Father's Day is here today, yesterday in June.
In Australia, when is it in Australia?
September.
So our Father's Days are on different days.
Yes.
Our Mother's Days are on the
same day. I wonder why they did that.
I don't know.
Who decides?
Who has Mother's Day? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's something that we should have researched beforehand. I will research after.
I look forward to that answer.
Right.
Anyway,
so what do you got for me? Yeah.
Big news down under.
All right. Tell me.
Katy Perry's there.
All right. Not my favorite person.
I know.
But I know she's one of your favorites.
I'm not saying one of my favorites. I think she's a great performer, great pop star.
You seem to be the one defending it. I think it's because everybody else.
Big. I feel like all the girls are defending her.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, she's down under. Aussies just love her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, she's sold out everywhere. She's sold out 3 concerts in Sydney, 4 concerts in Melbourne.
Wow.
She's just wrapped up her Melbourne leg, and she went out to party to celebrate. And she surprised fans at an iconic bar in Melbourne. They have a night called Poof Doof.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's a gay bar.
Yep.
Drag queens were there. Some drag queens were dressed up as Katy for the Katy Club night. And she did a legendary thing. She got up on stage and she told everyone she's going to shout everyone a drink for an hour. Not a drink, sorry. Just shout open bar for a whole hour.
Wow. That's actually pretty generous. I don't know why she put like the time restriction on it. Like, you guys have got 60 minutes start now.
Do you know what I was thinking though? That's putting some you got to have some responsibility. It's alcohol.
True.
Maybe she's thinking about those who are maybe already on the edge of tipping over the drunk level.
That's
and
nice
she's being
of her.
responsible.
Now, there's some speculation. Is her and Orlando Bloom still good, or I don't know where they stand?
There are rumors circulating that the pair on the rocks, maybe split.
Australia's a pretty good place to find a new man if she's interested.
I haven't seen photos of him there, but she is there with Daisy. They went to Luna Park together.
Oh, okay.
Which is like our version of Six Flags, I guess.
Yeah, pretty lame version.
Do you think? I've never been to Six Flags.
Have you been to Luna Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, lamer.
Oh, okay. America does games.
America's big.
Theme parks big.
America's big.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else?
I do. I have a really scary story.
Oh.
So, are you a fan of saunas?
Saunas? No.
Oh, okay. I love them.
Okay.
So this Australian influencer, Dominique Alyssa, she had a near-death experience before she got into the sauna.
Before getting in?
So it sounds like something out of a Final Destination movie. She shared this video to TikTok. She has over 1 million followers, and she was renting this Airbnb out like for a wellness retreat, and she was expected to host this workshop. And she put the sauna on, let it heat up, which is what you do, I guess, for the smaller ones that aren't in a gym or whatever. She goes off, like cooks dinner or whatever. She goes back after 40 minutes and she's about to put her bathers on. And then all of a sudden, boom, the sauna explodes.
Oh.
Just a few minutes before she's about to get in.
Why? What exploded about it?
I don't know. She doesn't really get into it, but it's
it must be like an electrical sort of.
Yes. The power went out. It exploded, she says, like to 10 to 15 meters high. I don't know what that would be in American terms.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Anyway, a high explosion. And she had no reception because she was like out in the middle of nowhere. She couldn't contact anyone. The neighbors were far away. Luckily, which I didn't know this, your phone calls emergency services when there's no reception. So she figured that out.
Yeah.
She figured that out and they came. But that's terrifying.
Scary. That's scary.
Just a few minutes before entering the sauna.
You feel pretty lucky and you feel pretty like, I think that's good now. You feel everything else is a bonus in your life. You know?
Well, she noted like her mother has passed away. So she thinks it was her mother who saved her.
I'm not sure about that.
You don't believe in things like that?
No. And no, I'm glad that people do, but I don't think her mother stopped her from getting in the sauna 30 seconds earlier. I doubt it. But maybe. Not very relaxing sauna trip for her.
No, well, there was no sauna trip in the end. I don't know if she'd be getting into a sauna again.
No.
I don't know if I want to get into a sauna again. Not
Yeah.
like a cheap home one, I think.
You want to be the ones where you got the water on the rocks. Water on the rocks.
Yes.
Water on the rocks. If it's not water on the rocks.
It's electrical and that's terrifying.
Yeah. I want au natural sauna.
It reminds me of that scene in Final Destination of them in the tanning bed.
What about that guy who survived the Air India flight? You know that one guy who survived
Charlie,
the Air
I can't even
India
talk
flight?
about that. That's so freaking terrifying.
Isn't that crazy that one person out of that huge flight?
I wonder how many people are going to be booking 11A.
Yeah, that's the only seat. But also, 11A is one of those sucky seats where it's a window seat without a window.
It's on the wing. And also they said that they're so shocked that that was the seat to have survived because that's probably the most unlikely to survive.
Oh.
Because it's on the wing.
If only he was Australian, we could cover it like the whole podcast.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's terrifying.
Scary. It's scary. Well,
Anyway, that's it from me today.
thank you, Christina.
Anytime.
And we'll see you guys here next week.
Bye.